Thank you all so much, and thank you, Elle McPherson, for introducing me. 3 years ago, almost to the day, on September 24th, 2014, I woke up very early to head to the hospital and get the results of a biopsy I had gotten 2 days earlier. As I approached the check-in desk, joking with my mom about the registration clerk's insistence on once again asking me my marital status, having just turned 30 2 months before, it was my least favorite ritual, repeating over and over again that I was single and childless. I sat in the waiting room of the breast center, the youngest person in the room by a large vicinity. When the nurses would come by with paperwork, they automatically would hand it to my mother, assuming that she was the patient. All of this just added to the absurdity of why I was even there in the first place. I was young, I was healthy, I was reaching a peak of my career. I certainly could not have cancer. I had no family history, I had done regular checkups, I even had ultrasounds annually to check my breasts and make sure these puppies were cooperating. But that nagging bit of blood was raising alarms all over the doctor's office, so I sat patiently, even a little bit smugly, because I knew I was fine and I couldn't wait to be right. When they brought me into the nice room with the couches, the foghorn started blaring in my ears. The smugness sank out of me, leaving way for only that sound that was now creeping behind my eyeballs. "It's happening," I said to my mom in the few moments that I had before the doctor came in. And it did. Carcinoma, a big one, an 8-centimeter tumor in my size A breast. "Do you need a moment?" the doctor asked me. And with that question, the ringing in my ears stopped. "No," I said, with more conviction than I think anyone in the room was expecting. What's next? The game was on, and I was going to win. I was getting MRIs, genetic testing, insurance counseling, and fertility treatments. All began within moments of being diagnosed. I had never even had my wisdom teeth taken out. And now my breasts were being drawn on with purple marker indicating where my double mastectomy scars were going to be. And that's when I cried. The rush of competition that I was feeling between me and this nasty ball of death inside of me had suddenly lost its appeal. All I had thought of until that moment was living, but I never considered that if I lived through cancer, that I'd also have to live after cancer. I cried for the loss, the first of what would eventually become countless, and then I cried for shame. Shame of feeling vain in this moment of crisis, and guilt for my second thought being, how will I look? Who will love me after this mutilation? And I said these words out loud, and the specialist said to me, with such clear conviction, you had to believe her, "Don't let anyone make you feel bad about that. You get the best tits out there, and don't think twice." I'm here to tell you I did. And I'm so grateful every day for that woman and her words at that crucial moment of my diagnosis. What I would later learn was that feeling confident and even beautiful during a period of time that is only ugly was actually vital to my recovery. I just hated the idea of looking sick. Right before I lost my hair, I stood in front of a mirror, armed with every kind of scarf you could imagine. I tried the pirate, and I tried the headband, and I did anything that would make me feel like I wouldn't hate looking at myself in the mirror. And everything kind of looked really adorable until I would tuck the remaining bit of bangs underneath my scarf. And that's when the monologue starts screaming, "Sick. You look sick." It was all that I could see. It was all that I could think of. How was I going to be able to fight this way? I needed to see myself well in order to cross the finish line. So when I started my blog, Chemo Couture, it was really just for me. I had to find the beauty somewhere. So through it, I was able to take the side effects that would have been horrifying to me otherwise and make it somewhat fun and provocative, irreverent, and even empowering. What I didn't realize was how many other women of all ages are desperately needing the same thing. I want my experience as a young woman with cancer to open the conversation to others who still want to feel like a woman, whatever that means to them. And that's what Look Good, Feel Better does for women all over the world. To have a program with this kind of reach unites women with other fierce fighters who are loudly proclaiming that they will not let cancer dim their spirit or their style. It gives them permission to own all of the complicated emotions and say, yes, I'm going to fight, but I refuse to compromise. And for me, it wasn't a time to bust out a beanie and hide. I wanted to live as loudly as possible. In a time of uncertainty, the only thing that I knew was that my year with cancer was going to be a colorful one. Oh, now I believe in looking like my time on earth is cooking, whether polka dotted, striped, or even checked, with some glamour guaranteeing every fiber of my being is displayed to quite remarkable effect. From your cradle via trousseau to your deathbed, you're on view. So never compromise, accept no substitute. I would rather wear a barrel than conservative apparel, 'cause dress has always been my strongest suit. Overwear, underwear, anytime, anywhere. Staying in or hitting downward from the top and working downward. I assure that every stitch is stitched in time. It's stitched in time. Whether wig or hat or turban, whether clad boudoir or urban, not to strut your stuff outrageously is a crime. Such a crime. And the few who are invited to my wardrobe are delighted as they wander through my things to find en route. We're wandering through your things. That in negligee or formal, I am anything but normal. Dress has always been my strongest suit. Overwear, underwear, anytime, anywhere. Overwear, underwear, anytime, anywhere. Overwear, underwear, anytime, anywhere. So bring me all my finest, most audacious, my divinest, most revealing, most expensive, and revealing, most expensive, most arresting, most heart-stopping, most free-flowing, most eye-popping. Dress has always been my strongest suit. What my strongest suit. What I wear. I am what I wear. Dress has always been my strongest suit. My strongest, my strongest, my strongest, my strongest, my strongest suit. Give a hand for the ladies. So it's, you can see that I've always had a flair for the dramatic. No surprise, I ended up in musical theater. It's been 3 years since those photos from my blog, and every day a new piece of the new normal puzzle gets put back into place. At times, it has felt like I have lived decades since then. I have mourned the loss of many parts of me. Some parts are tangible, and other parts are emotional. Some losses ended up being gifts. Some days I feel like a warrior, Some days I feel an absolute sense of bliss as I attempt to relinquish control over things I realize I can't change. Sometimes I feel the support of thousands of people, and other days I feel alone, although I know I never am. I am me, but without a single part of me unaffected. But thanks to my family, my parents who are here tonight, and my boyfriend who met me along this journey and jumped in with 2 feet into this mess, and the support of places like Look Good, Feel Better, I know that I can keep moving forward and enjoy the gift of every single day.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick up my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day away. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick up my chin and grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day away.
Thank you.